Plenty of colour and plenty of fans have made the trip here for the game between New Zealand and USA. New Zealand looking for their 5th title against the 1991 world champions America in what promises to be a thriller. Earlier, the two captains, Black Ferns Fiao Farmasili and the Eagles Tiffany Fay, met with Spanish official Alhambra Nivas for the coin toss. The USA called it correctly and opted to kick the ball. And both of these captains of Samoan descent, and I know many Polynesians are extremely proud of these two fantastic athletes and wonderful ambassadors. And it's the same forward pack for New Zealand that started against Canada 5 days ago. Eldora Itunu, the tight head prop, is the only forward of the competition to have scored a hat-trick of tries in one game. No change to the backs with a potent back three of Woodman, Wuniata and Whitcliffe. When they get opportunities, it normally becomes www.trytime.co.nz. And the Americans showed tremendous application desire, scoring 4 tries against England, and their forwards, Washington and Gray, are good ball runners, with Sarah Parsons topping the tackle counts. And New Zealand have the W's, Team America have the T's. Thomas comes from a track and athletes background, and Tapper was an All-American track runner at high school in Charlottes. Plenty of impact from the bench for the Americans, Hope Rogers and Kayla Kennett. And the Black Ferns have firefighter Rebecca Woods and top try scorer of the Rugby World Cup of 2010, Carla Hohepa. New Zealand and America in a repeat of the 1991 Rugby World Cup. America won that match and were crowned global winners and have not lost a semi-final. The Black Ferns have dominated from 98 to 2014 before being dethroned. Who will get the opportunity to play in the final? We will know in 90 minutes time. And as with all test matches, we now await the national anthems. Mana Aki Tia Mai Aotearoa, God Defend New Zealand. And then, of course, Star Spangled Banner for Team USA. beautiful renditions of the two national anthems and a country in mourning. You can see the black armbands worn by the New Zealand players in reference to Sir Colin Meads, who died on Sunday at the age of 81. New Zealand rugby player of the 20th century, 133 All Black appearances, 55 tests, 11 as captain. He was a councillor, selector, manager, life member, and inducted into the Rugby Hall of Fame in 1997. Knighted in 2009. Rest in peace, Sir Colin. Challenge is set and accepted by the Americans, who stood as one and walked forward. And it's the same forward pack that started against Canada 5 days ago. Aldora Itunu has been in terrific form, and a great loose forward trio of McMenamin, Savage and Goss. And in the backs, it is the back three that have been scoring all the tries for New Zealand. Winiata has scored 4, Portia Woodman with 9, and Rene Weckliff has 3. The Americans show tremendous application desire, scoring 4 tries against England. The forwards, Washington and Gray, good ball carriers, and keep an eye out for the defensive work of number 6, Sarah Parsons. New Zealand have the W's, Team USA have the T's, and Thomas, who comes from a track and athletics background. Tapper was an All-American track runner at high school in Charlotte. And the bench, there's plenty of class. Hope Rogers has made an impact for the Americans when she's come on, as has 19-year-old Kayla Kennett. And for the Black Ferns, Rebecca Woods, and also top try scorer of the 2010, Carla Hohepa, should get some game time. Quality players and quality officials here from Spain, Alhambra, Nevis, and alongside me, Melody Robinson, who's won the World Cup. Can't wait for this, Mel.
This is going to be really interesting. It's the game of competing strike missiles. Both teams have individual stars who, if allowed to fire, will blast through and zoom past defences. And those weapons are wearing numbers 11, 14 and 15 on both sides. Watch for them.
The first semi-final of the 2017 Rugby World Cup is underway. Cox Edge gets it and gives it immediately to Aroha Savage wearing jersey 8. They go and look for forwards. This is Itunu. 3 tries against Canada 5 days ago, and now Zabriskie Nafatali looks for the comfort of some territory straight down to where Cheddaremba gets her first touch of the ball and runs into Brazier on the halfway mark. Is there Oisiani gets the ball out, finds a little bit of turf. Now Gray will have to go down. Jordan Gray, number 8 for the Americans to secure possession. Oisani again, they go out to the right, and this is their captain. Fai tackled by Goss. Americans through Rosier, kicks it, and Winiatu is in good field position, claims it, And now brings it towards the halfway, the kick and chase, the bump and run. It's a good kick from Winiata, chasing up Rosier. Doesn't have too much time, and the only option here is to kick it into touch. Fanatical pace at the start of this one.
Great work initially from the United States, getting a couple of phases going there, but then the option to kick from New Zealand, from Seleka Winiata. We usually know her to run the ball back. That was a great choice and put in exactly the right position to where there was a lot of green grass. So good work from Winiata.
First line out is a good one from New Zealand, and then they bring it down. McMenamin goes charging forward. Inside the 22 they go. Coxedge to Sabritsky. Nafatali, short border. Woodman coming looking for work from the right wing. Slow ball. And denied from Parsons. That's a great shot from the loose forward. Again, it's the New Zealand second row working together there. Smith and Blackwell. Coxedge out to Natua. Short ball to the captain. Palmasili goes through the gap. Coxedge, some running ball. Nafatali will score. 2 minutes gone, 6 phases. And Victoria Sabritsky Nafatali scores for New Zealand.
And it was wonderful interchange between the forwards, the little numbers, and the backs. The captain, Fa'amasili, she was involved in that, and Victoria Sabritsky Nafatali. She's been known to score a few tries so far. A lovely pass there from Coxedge. Great work between the two forwards. The 1-2 pass, and then Coxedge tries the line on, but decides, yes, Sabritsky Nafatali's in a better position than me. So I'll do the unselfish thing and get it out wide. Look at that.
First try of the World Cup. The gardener in her occupation plants it down, and there's the delight. The 25-year-old has run for 174 metres. She's beaten 22 defenders ahead of this game. Make it 23 now. There's Kendra Coxedge, prolific point scorer, having scored 41 in this tournament. Looks to move her tally to 43, denied by the post.
Yes, the USA are going to have to be aware of the threats that every single person in this Black Ferns team has. I mean, look at that, the two forwards. They just didn't reorganise their defence fast enough on that left-hand side because their winger had gone in. It's all about communication for the USA if they're going to get back into this.
These two teams have met on 10 occasions. New Zealand have won 9. America won the inaugural World Cup semi-final in Cardiff 26 years ago. The scoreline of 7-0. Well taken by Smith. Coxedge is there to Goss. Goss throws the dummy into the contact. Goes the New Zealand Sevens captain who won silver in Rio 12 months ago. It's a patient ball, and now Nafatali goes high. Ember in good field position as Tapper alongside her, and Thomas is there. Here goes Ember. They can't give her too much space. She's a real threat. There's the Harvard graduate. Wasani out to Rosier, and that's ball's been lost, and this is where New Zealand is so dangerous in the turnover. Whitcliffe. Forwards arrive, and again it's quickly out to where the captain failed. Farmasili, the detective from South Auckland in New Zealand, takes the ball, and here's Eldoro Itunu. What a tournament she has had for the young 26-year-old. Coxedge, the kick over the top. Whitcliffe is chasing. Sideline wins the race.
Well, that was because Tapper was up on defence, hard on the defensive line, so there was an opportunity behind there, but unfortunately the ball beat the player. Whitcliffe running through to chase.
It's fine, play on. Play on.
This is Augustine, the 33-year-old for America, looking for Washington.
Backwards.
Finds the target. Wasani has to go in and clear it up, and now the pick and go from the American forwards, asking the New Zealanders to do some defensive work. They go out to Gray. Jordan Gray, no-nonsense sort of player. Back in the pocket is Ember. Good pressure coming in from Farmasili. She hasn't found touch. Wycliffe to Winiata to Woodman. Stand by. Portia Woodman. Tackled by Hevelin. Kelty was there over the top. Now the counter ruck comes into the Americans. Washington has it. New Zealand didn't send enough forwards into the ruck, but they've lost the ball, and that's been taken by Blackwell. Coxedge gets it. Smith is there. Ball on the inside to Goss. Sarah Goss with some nice sidestepping. Sarah Goss continues to go forward. Out to Nafatali. Here comes Itunu from the left, running back to where the traffic is. Coxedge again. Zabritsky Nafatali, the crossfield kick. The kick pass to Wycliffe. Wycliffe got it. 1-on-1. Popped up. Winiata. Too short. Here come New Zealand again. Wonderful work there from Tapper. The American just went straight in and stole it. Swanee gets it back to Ember, who'll look for the sideline. Hasn't found it. Yes, she has. Just crossed the plane rather. And Mel, the skill level shown here is of the first class.
Well, this was wonderful work from Goss, wasn't it? The footwork, dexterity she showed. They had a couple of numbers to blow over. They moved the ball quickly. Zabritsky Nafatali, what a kick was that. Winiata's got lovely footwork. But look at Tapper, she comes around the back, then she goes over, contests the ball. There was only Brazier there on the top of Winiata. And Tapa came out trumps.
Well, look how many times they've broken the line, this New Zealand team. It's been a real feature. 7-2, that's that gain line success, and now they race for the ball. Getting there to win the race is Parsons. Parsons tackled by Itunu. Oceani looks to get it up. Big shoulder, nice hit. Coming in from Natua. Says to Bridges, sit down.
Oh my goodness, that was like a brick wall. Natua just went in there and the American block just bounced backwards.
It was almost a broken bridge there. Stacey Bridges felt the force from Toka Natua. She's a graphic designer. Nellen, you wouldn't want to argue with her, would you?
Let's have a look here. Her body position.
Here, Mark. Yeah, thanks.
She's a little lucky because she contacted with the arms there. But it's physical, there's no doubt about that.
Augustine goes to Washington, works well. Now the Americans look to draw in some of the defenders for New Zealand. This is a good maul. Great platform from Team USA. Oswini gets it, knocked it back, but now they look to try and work again. Good tackle from Blackwell. What a tremendous tournament she has had, and they've lost the ball illegally.
You must release first.
No clear release means that America get good territory and possession.
So to explain to people at home who are not familiar with rugby, if you're held up but you get your knees to the ground, that is deemed a tackle, and so the tacklers must release you. It's not a maul because you've got your knees to the ground. Nice little dart from Oceana. And here it is here, so knees down there.
This time they go to Gray. She brings it down. And good work there from Parsons and Zachary. Working nicely are the Americans here. Standing one off is Benson. Catherine Benson into the contact. Looking to try and steal it. And it's looked like it's a clean steal as well, so good work from the New Zealanders. Turnover there from Natua. Coxedge to Nafatali. Zabritsky Nafatali again, the high kick down to where Cheddar Ember gets it. Ember grubber kicks along the ground, it's a good one. Zabritsky Nafatali steps, still in the 22. Then the offload. Winiata has taken that back. If it goes out on the full, they might have to come back, I think.
He's out. Straight back.
Great officiating from the Spanish referee.
Yeah, that's correct decision. Maybe Zabritsky Nafatali should have kicked it after she stepped Ember right there, but decided to run instead. She put Winiata under a lot of pressure there. look to where Washington is. She's taken a couple already.
Well, the Americans wins against Italy and Spain, and then the loss against England. But the 4 tries that were scored in New Zealand have stolen it through Goss. Coxedge will kick. In between Thomas and Ember. And now Ember spins. Lovely work from the fullback. Into the forwards she goes. Not afraid of the contact. There's Cheddar Ember. Gray puts the head down, runs into the tackle of Etunu. Luciani out to Rosier, nice wide pass out to Kelter. Kelter looks for the rubber kick along the ground, chasing up is Thomas. Aroha Savage is covering like a good number 8. Coxedge looking for territory first. Rosier is there, the bounce. There's a good one for New Zealand.
Leave it. It's not your ball, leave it the ball. Yeah.
So Ember has done very well at the back here. She's been sitting deep. The Kiwis have been kicking straight to her. She's run it back very strongly. That's lovely, like a ballerina. New Zealand might want to vary the length of kick they're doing because she is standing quite deep.
There is Augustine, ice hockey goaltender from 2002 to 2006 for the Northeastern Huskies before she started to play rugby now. Rosier gets it out to Parsons. She loves the contact, does Sarah Parsons. Over the advantage line again, it's Rosier. Out to Hevel into a step. Nice tackle from Waka. McMenamin is there, but America still have the ball. Again, it's Bridges. Maswani. Rosier kicks and it's over the head of Winiata. Bounces back now, the chase all important. Winiata with Wycliffe to her left. Wycliffe won't get past Tapper. And a strong defence from Naya Tapper.
Yep, not the best option to give it to a very good but little winger in Wycliffe, who's going to have to try and outpower Tapper, who's one of the strongest wingers in this competition.
They go to the back, Washington goes up, and then it's Goss that loses the ball forward. Luciani takes it in, and they've lost it forward, have New Zealand, so no advantage there for the Americans. They'll get the scrum.
White ball.
And after New Zealand scoring in the first 3 minutes, the defence and the attack from America has certainly improved.
Yet has New Zealand's having to put quite a few tackles in now. They've only missed one. So good defensive systems from the Kiwis.
First one, stay square and any push before the ball, okay?
And of course the line out for the USA is short up now. And maybe just a little bit of early game nerves at the beginning.
The Americans were operating at around 89% efficiency in the lineouts too. The New Zealanders 84. New Zealand 92% in tackles. They don't miss too many tackles to the New Zealanders. Balls out quickly from the scrum. Rosier, they run a decoy and then they bring in Tapper from the right wing. Takes a couple of defenders with her. Naya Tapper, not Howard, gets up, goes again. Strong play from the right winger. Swanee to Rosier, out to Ember. Ember will challenge the line. Then the ball to Thomas. Thomas is away. Here come America. Stunning try for Christine Thomas. And America mean business.
Well, what did I tell you about the ladies and the big numbers in this game? And that one started by Tapper and that incredible one in the middle of the field. So here it is here, outside, Brazier just manages to grab her, but she releases the ball. Oh, that could have been a knock on there. But all good. USA, Ember manages to get that lovely little pass over the top, and Woodman had to mark 2 men there, so it was very difficult. And Thomas, man, she's so quick. Once she gets the ball in a little bit of space, she's away.
Well, it was basketball style, wasn't it? From Ember to Thomas. Something you're used to seeing in the NBA. Know that these pitches going live through America, through NBC. Hope you're enjoying your coverage here of this contest terrific athletes. And Christine Thomas, who was in Rio de Janeiro 12 months ago, representing America in the sevens, scores the first try for Team USA. And Alif Kelter is a quality kicker. Oh, that is unbelievable! America take the lead for the first time, and it's game on.
It's another look, Ember with the ball over the top. It really was a basketball/netball pass just in the basket there for Thomas.
New Zealand kick off for the first time. It's down to where Gray takes it. Jordan Gray, whose father played in the NBA. Swani Rozier gives it out. Outside in from Benson. Catherine Benson, the loose head prop. And holding on to the ball. Great work by the open side flanker, Sarah Goss.
Goss having a very strong game so far. Holding on. At the front of the line-out, she's been a menace. If you go down in front of her in a tackle, she will steal the ball. And of course, she is so fit, she'll be going 100% right into the 80th minute of this match. She is an outstanding athlete. So here it is, held up there by Sabrixki Nafatali, and then Goss is over the top. Kept her weight as well and won the ball.
Sign of respect from the New Zealanders to the Americans. They're going to take the points here. We haven't seen this throughout the whole tournament. Not too many penalty goals from the teams, but New Zealand, through Kendra Cox-Edge, look to take the lead again. The 29-year-old in her third World Cup. Rugby Development Officer in the Canterbury region, the South Island of New Zealand. Good contact. And right between the posts, New Zealand strike. It's 8-7.
Yeah, Kendra Cox-Edge, she's the leading all-time point scorer in first-class rugby for women in New Zealand. She had a bit of a shocker in the first game here at the World Cup, but her kicking has come along very nicely indeed.
Almost the first quarter of the game has gone, and here is Natua. Big and strong, the loose head prop, got through 15 tackles in the opening 2 matches. Now they look for the inside pass. Nice ball to Savage. The Builders on the go. Gets the hammer out, does Aroha Savage. To the left they go, some holes now starting to open up. Woodman over on the left-hand wing. So they've changed a little bit here. Wycliffe is out on the right. Nice run here from Blackwell, one of the best forwards in the tournament, Eloise Blackwell, and they'll look to try and move the ball possibly here, New Zealand. Sabritsky Nafatali draws in 4 defenders. They're a little slow to arrive. America look interested, and they'll get the penalty. She got isolated, did Sabritsky Nafatali, and strong defence in from Parsons in Washington.
Yeah, her decision to take it into contact was a little too late.
Thank you.
Probably needed to pass that ball, Sabritsky Nafatali. Usually her power allows her to get into a good position to hold the ball up for the forwards to have enough time to get there, but that time just all a little slow.
How about the run from Aroha Savage? Now, she was at the 2010, 2014 Rugby World Cup, looking like a 3-quarter here.
Well, she's an extremely experienced player. It was a lovely hole she ran. Great offload too.
Play on. Backwards.
Quick line out, and it's New Zealand who win the battle at the contest. Cox-Edge puts the ball back, and now the New Zealand captain
Release, 5!
in her 51st Test match goes forward. Etunu, the younger of the 2 that are here. Linda, her older sister, on the bench. Smith, the policewoman from Auckland.
Stay back.
So now New Zealand changing tactics, just wanting to go down Main Street.
Back, 5.
Again the pick and go, and again America making their first up tackles. Now it's Goss's turn to carry. She goes into the contact. Washington is there as Benson. 6 phases. That's better from New Zealand. Nice and quick. The pick and go again from Blackwell. Now Cox edge to Nafatali. Short ball out to McMenamin. Loses the ball forward. And if there's no advantage, America will get the scrum. Chemba is back in the pocket.
Use it!
Cheddaremba is there. She'll kick here.
Advantage over.
And the advantage is over, right down to where Wycliffe is standing. Here comes the dub to Winiata. Now to Woodman. Woodman one-on-one. Tapper. These two have met on a number of occasions on the 7 circuits.
Stay.
Outstanding athletes, and again it's Goss with the ball. Strong defense from Washington. Parsons comes through. The counter ruck, they look, and then they present there to Cox edge. Zabriskie Nafatali. Short and flat ball to Smith. Again, Brazier in at first receiver. Waka coming from outside in. And now Kelter looking to steal the ball. The referee says leave it. New Zealand have more possession. Cox edge, Zabriskie Nafatali. Straight to where Thomas is. Thomas breaks out of the first tackle. Swanee out to Bridges. Tackle there made by McMenamin. Swanee back now to Amber, and that's a better kick. Savage is standing back in the fullback position, the number 8. Here comes the 27-year-old number 8, winds up and gets going into the contact of the American captain. Woodman is there. Parsons with another tackle. And now the captain, Falmasili. Again, New Zealand look to go down the close channels. They go a little wider on this occasion, out to where Smith meets Kelter. Kelter drives her back. Elif Kelter, one of the good defenders for this American side. Isolation, America look to try and steal it, and they've just lost it forward from there. High tempo, long phases of play as well. And now they get it out there. Tunu is isolated. Parsons is there. So is Heveland.
It's no advantage. It's not gone.
And finally, all the players get a chance to get their breath.
No advantage.
I'm impressed by 2 things. Number 1, the huge physical defence from the USA team. They really are absolutely smashing these New Zealand girls. They are big physical players.
Please.
A good outside in there from Kelter. But at the same time, the ability of New Zealand to withstand these kind of hits and still maintain possession for continuity play. Really great stuff from both teams.
I think it's a good balance at the moment.
It really is a semi-final that we were hoping for.
Okay? Thank you.
Just wondering what variety New Zealand will bring to their attack
Yes,
in that first 10 minutes or so, maybe 15 minutes. They kick the ball away too much. They're trying to keep it in hand now.
Time on, please. We play now. Oh, yeah. Yes, just say to me and I don't.
And there is Faio Falmasili in her 5th Rugby World Cup.
It's okay now?
51 test caps. She becomes the most capped New Zealander, and a detective from South Auckland. Interesting listening to her talk to the media, where she said that the detective work is a lot like rugby. It's probably easier, I think, being a detective than being out here against America.
That's right. Sniffing out the ball. Protecting the boundaries, those kind of things.
Crouch!
And of course, telling people what to do.
Oh, that's the big part, isn't it?
Set! Hold!
They use Woodman, who's changed wings, and now Woodman into the backfield. Portia Woodman, you're killing me! That is magnificent! First-rate try from a first-rate athlete. And Portia Woodman shows why she is so special.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you will not see an athlete like this on any Rugby World Cup stage. She is unbelievable. She's beaten more players, she's made more line breaks, she's made more tries, and this is why that beautiful hit at pace, change of angle, 2 fins, And again, a change of direction which wrong-footed the fullback. Just unbelievable to watch the star in action, and it's a real pleasure to see her on the world scene.
5 defenders she beat on her road to glory. Conversion is successful from Cox Edge.
All good, team.
And Portia Woodman, whose father was an All Black in the 80s, her uncle was an All Black, so she comes from great bloodline, great stock. And just have a look at her change the ball here on a number of occasions. Ball in the hand, so she fends with the right, then changes to the right to fend with the left, then changes again. Special. That would rate as one of the best tries in the Rugby World Cup of 2017. New Zealand get possession.
White.
And Jordan Gray's not too happy, the number 8 from America. Now the offload, and they're starting to run a little wider, are the New Zealanders, getting the ball out again. Goss is there to support McMenamin.
Perfect.
Stolen by Bridges. In fact, it was Augustine, the hooker, showing her experience there when America have the ball. Here's Jordan Gray into the tackle of Sabritsky Nafatali. And just a little halfback there. Oswani just losing the ball forward.
Black ball.
Started playing rugby as a sophomore at Penn State.
It's fine.
The little halfback there and just losing it forward.
It's fine, okay? So,
If you see there, I think Jordan Gray just put her hand out and slightly knocked it as
It's enough now.
is trying to pick it up. There you go. New Zealand just ahead in possession. A lot more carries, which shows you the style they're playing out there.
Crouch!
And they're starting to dominate a little more on that game line success too.
Set! Hold!
Options both left and right. They move it out to it. Sabritsky Nafatali quickly. They want to get the ball into the hands of Portia Woodman. Steps out of the tackle from Tapper. Kelter with the tackle. Here's Savage. Aroha, Savage, the 2-8s come together. And now it's Natua. Tackle being made by Bridges. High tempo again. Brazier gets it to Winiata. Winiata kicks it down to where Ember will field it. Now Ember. Cheddar Ember through the gap. Ember's through. 1-on-1. Cheddar Ember needs support. Goss is there. Goss gets the penalty. And what a break from the American fullback.
Yeah, it was a great break. It really was. Every time they have kicked the ball to this lady, she has responded in kind. Wycliffe missed the tackle. And what was going through Winiata's mind when she saw this big, powerful woman running towards her? But yes, Goss, I tell you what, she was there on the money again. Her work rate around the field, Sarah Goss, her lines, her anticipation is excellent.
Clear, go.
These two sides first met in 1990, New Zealand winning that match 9-3.
You must be clear before.
A year later
You
at the
must be
Rugby World
clearing,
Cup,
okay?
it was America that won the semi-final 7-0 in Cardiff. They went on to win the tournaments. Goss gets rid of Parsons. And to the contact goes Goss into Augustine. To the left, Brazier standing at first receiver, but it's Natua. Lovely pass from Natua. And another ball around the corner. Waka gets isolated. Now they steal it. Kelter to Washington, who can't hold it. Going backwards. Thomas has it now. Puts out the big fend. Buys a little bit of time, does Kristen Thomas. Ocean to Rosier. And nice exit play from the classy first 5 for America.
Yeah, not the metres that she would have wanted, though. I think Ember's got a bigger open play kick than her, but let's have a look at this. Just that offloading game coming into it now for New Zealand. It's a great tackle there from Tapper, who came off her wing to stop that attack. It was a good decision too.
New Zealand with the line-outs. Goss is tackled by Zachary. They go around the corner. Smith gives it back to Brazier. Waka closed down quickly, and now it's out to Winiata, to Wycliffe. Plenty of defenders here from America. Some nice sidestepping from Renee Wycliffe. Waka Into the 22 they go. Quick ball. Cox edge out to Zabriskie Nafatali. They wanted that to go a little further across field. And unfortunately,
Captain!
it's gone dead.
Captain! Captain!
They had numbers out on the left.
Is a scrum?
Yeah.
Well, this was a good
22.
pass from Winiata, but Wycliffe here was totally isolated, and she unbelievably beat about 3-4 players to come back to her support, and that was key. The kick was
22.
no good from Zabriskie Nafatali. She knew it too. She just wanted it a little bit shorter. But the different options New Zealand are using are really starting to put the strain on this USA defence.
This is the 1,236 tests. And these two sides have battled on 10 occasions as McMenamin gets it and just charges forward into the American captain, Fa'i and Augustine. And they've lost it forward there. There's Natua just a little bit in front of her.
Black. White ball.
Well, those kind of mistakes just creeping in just because that defence from the USA is right up in the face of New Zealand. Particularly close in.
First to scrum.
New Zealand heading into this match had scored 35 tries in the 3 matches. Woodman and Tapper had beaten 26 defenders as well, so just showing the class that is on display here in Belfast.
Set. Home. Steady, go, steady.
8 to go before the break. Devon Lucian feeds it and a big push comes in from the New Zealanders. They get the ball back out to Rozier, out to Kauta, changes the angle. Alif Kauta, the former ice hockey under-18 captain who won gold for her country. Now it's Gray who gets held up. Now they've got to let it go.
They look forward.
And she got the call from the assistant referee as well.
Knock on. No advantage. Black ball.
So let's have a look here. It's the
When I
8
call
pushing
tackle,
in.
it's because she
And
has
of course
me
the
on the
American
ground,
team, the
release no
hooker
more.
has to hook so it
you
leaves
both
up.
sides, just release, okay?
Big hit in
Yeah,
from
it's
the
fine.
first 5 on the number 8. You don't
Thanks.
often see a first 5 muscling a number
Closer,
8. And of
please.
course joined in by Aroha Savage who helped out.
Crouch!
Well, the New Zealanders are all out to the left. There is no right winger from the scrum. And so to the left they will go. Cox edge, Zabriskie Nafatali runs across, throws a nice flat pass. Wycliffe can't hold it. Winiata is there. Now America look interested in the counter ruck. Tapper gets it, and New Zealand played the ball on the ground.
Getting the ground.
Gray taps and goes. Here goes Jordan Gray. The offload to Zachary. Half the team was still back at the halfway waiting. America have possession. Rozier out to Fa'i. Captain into the contact. To the left again, Rozier. Decoy runners now out to Hevelin. To Parsons. Inside the 22 go America. Oswan, Rozier to the line. Then to Benson. Catherine Benson in the tackle of Savage. Quick tap here taken from the Americans. Zachary who got it going along with Gray. A little bit isolated there, holds on to possession. Rozier wants it out to the left, Parsons is there. They throw it out to Thomas. Wanting to get her involved in the game. Farmacelli tries to seal it and can't. And now Heveland out to the captain, Tiffany Fa'i. USA, the chant goes up. Plenty of American support here for the ladies in white. Heveland holds on to the ball, gives it to Augustine. Now Washington with some go forward. Swan, Heveland, Ember couldn't hold it, but Kauta can. And here goes Alif Kauta. 9 phases, the Americans just need to be patient here. Try and find a weak shoulder, try and find a way through this resolute defence.
Go, Black!
It's kicked through. Ember will come forward and claim it. Gets it back to Heveland. Big wide pass out to where Bridges is. They've got numbers here, America. Stacey Bridges into the contact. Two of the New Zealanders who may have clashed as well, so I think two of the front rows have clashed. Rozier has it, kicks, the bounce, favours New Zealand. Winiata will get it and clear the line.
Well, the USA have an opportunity here if they can get this line out. But one point to note, there are a number of times they had numbers on either the left open side or the right-hand side. They need to let the ball go.
Decision to tap and go, and this is good time off because it looked like there was a head clash between the captain, Fal Masili. I'm not too sure whether it was with their Tunu or Britsky Nafatali, but
Okay.
Great heads-up play from the Spanish referee who just wanted to make sure that she was okay.
We are okay.
World Rugby taking a strong stance on concussion with HIA wanting to lead the world.
We play
and
now,
making sure that player welfare is the number one important thing in the game, Mel.
Yep, and it gives New Zealand the opportunity to actually reorganise themselves too, by the way.
Time back on.
Augustine gets it to Gray, gives it to Parsons. Stand by, here comes Parsons. Tackled by McMenamin. Zachary is there. Again out to the right, go America. Benson on this occasion. It's a good ball again. Now they look to bounce back to the left. Rozier out to Thomas. Has Ember there, plenty of black shirts in front of her. Thomas into the contact. This one out to Fa'i. Sabritsky Nafatali tries to hold her up and then lets the ball go. Rozier, they've got some numbers here, America. Bridges, never afraid to go into the contact with Stacey Bridges. And they've got numbers here, the dummy, and then Rozier runs. Looked to offload, but the better option was to hold on to the ball. Great defence from New Zealand, strong attack from the Americans. Kelter, not too many options, and so she'll set the platform. Washington is there. This one out. This is Zachary. Good tackle coming in from McMenamin. And now Heaviland to the captain. Big shot comes in from Natua. 9 phases. The Americans looking to try and find a way through. The gap that was there quickly closed. Again out to the left. Now Gray. Gray out to Thomas. Thomas. Too short. Winiata makes the tackle. They pick and drive through the middle. That's Bridges. That's the try line. Thomas can't get there. Ball is rejected. Now they score. I think Bridges has scored.
No advantage.
No advantage.
Captain,
it was knocked on there.
Be careful.
And now that goes back to the penalty. So the hands of Thomas.
What do you do here, Mel? Do you take the 3 points? It's a test match.
You'd have to take the 3 points because after all that ball, they didn't score because they just weren't taking the right options, and every time they went out wide.
They're not listening to you because they've tapped and gone. And they've lost it. So the turnover is crucial. Gray has lost the ball and New Zealand have dodged a bullet. A pick and go in close. Strong defence again coming in from Bridges. This is Etunu, held up by Fa'i. And now Coxedge will get it back to Brazier, who stands flat. Kelly Brazier throws it to Nafatali. Zabritsky Nafatali is capable of beating defenders and just bumping them off. There's another strong run from the New Zealand first 5. Dummy from Savage.
Use it.
Coxedge says the forwards, you control it here. And Smith will take the ball. Balls along the ground, the steal. They can't get it, and Blackwell with another carry for the team in black. Coxedge charged down. America have a chance. Swan has it, and New Zealand, after doing so much defending, are called to do a little more. Rozier out to Kelter to Heaviland. Out to Tapper. Can't hold it.
Knock on.
And she would have loved to have gone one-on-one with Woodman.
And finally, they did the right thing and they got it out to Tapper.
Knock on.
Let's have a look at this run by Sabritsky Nafatali. Honestly, she's so hard to handle when she runs close to the last breakdown. Forwards can't get her, backs can't get her.
Thank you.
Bang. She really is a handful.
Black
And
ball,
here it
please.
is there.
Play.
It would have been
Yeah,
one-on-one. Sometimes just goes through your mind before you get the ball what you're going to do with it.
5 carries, 41 metres. She's beaten 5 defenders.
Yeah.
Add that to the 22 she had beaten in the 3 matches previously. And what a player Victoria Sabritsky Nafatali is.
Set. Hold.
Worthy of a final, this match. And the good news is we've got 40 to come. This the final stage of the first half. Savage to Coxedge. Sabritsky Nafatali, short ball. It's gone forward. And that is half.
Forward pass. Half time.
Brilliant first half from both teams. And the most successful World Cup side, New Zealand, lead America by 15 points to 7. Well, welcome back to Kingspan Stadium here in Belfast. The match between the number one ranked team in the world, New Zealand, up against the 5th ranked team USA. 2 pieces of absolute brilliance, individual brilliance in the first half from Thomas and Woodman.
30 seconds.
But the scoreline reads New Zealand 15, America 7. There is Portia Woodman. 142 tries in her career in sevens. Was named World Player of the Year Sevens in 2015. And there is one of the superstars for Team
Captain,
USA
yes.
in Naya Tapper. 23-year-old sprinter. Yep. 40 minutes away from position in the World Cup in 2017. Parsons takes the first contact. If there was any doubt in the Americans' minds prior to the game, no doubt that they have spoken about that and come out. Just a quick error there from Rozier.
7 handling errors so far. It's a few more than New Zealand. Yeah, the pass was a little low, difficult, but no excuses. And the scrum, no doubt New Zealand will bring in some of their weapons into that back line and spin it out straight away. Woodman just on the inside there of Kelly Brazier.
They've changed the wingers around too. Woodman wearing 14 but playing on the left wing. And will be a real threat here from the set piece. Savage.
Backwards.
Coxedge pushes it back. Here goes Woodman and shut it down quickly. Nice tackle over the top from Gray, but they go the same way. Brazier to Walker. Walker almost through the tackle of Heaviland. Calter finishes it. Here goes Savage again. The Auckland builder really showing her strength there. Now it's out to Sabritsky Nafatali. Brazier out to Woodman. Couldn't hold it there and they've lost it forward.
Knock on.
Strong defence from the Americans, and obviously the message from the New Zealanders is get it into the hands of Portia Woodman as quickly as you can.
I like it how Savage is running this line. She heads straight, then she goes to the outside where a hole is. Now it was on out here, but see the pass just dropped at Woodman's feet. Yeah, lucky though that Winiata put her body on the line there, because Tapper, she would have been gone.
Thank you, thank you. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Scrums have been good for both teams. The Americans will have to now just lock in as the heat comes on from New Zealand. Gray takes it off the back, throws the dummy. And runs into her opposite.
Use it!
Ocean wants the forwards to go around, and there's Catherine Benson, the 25-year-old Penn State University graduate student.
Take
Into
him
the
back.
pocket is Imber.
Hold! Wait!
Makes good contact. Woodman takes
There
it just
now.
inside the touchline. Woodman to Winiata. One more W is Wycliffe. Nice chase from the Americans, and they brought it back to where Woodman is. Tackle's made. Bridges looks like she may have injured herself. Thankfully she's to her feet and now Nafatali says let's go for territory first. A good kick, and that's a great result for the New Zealanders. Victoria Zabritsky, Nafatali showing her class.
Oh, excellent. Really was good. Looked up, saw green grass again. Thomas, she was up because she was marking the back line. Just beautifully weighted, wasn't it?
4.
Another one of the American cross-code athletes that is involved in basketball and ice hockey and then found rugby, and New Zealand have stolen it through Smith. Up to McMenamin. Gray makes a tackle. Now the forwards go past the ball. Cox Edge will have it. Out to the right they come. Zabritsky Nafatali to Winiata. Dropped it. Nice defence from Ember.
No advantage, no going
Seems
black.
to be a few nerves
White ball.
coming in for the Black Ferns. Usually Winiata would take that pass. It wasn't much of a hit from Ember, really. She was
White
sort
ball.
of snatching at it. I think it's just because they're so keen to get the points, because this game is probably closer than they expected.
Masalika Winiata has scored 4 tries prior to this match. Picked up a hat-trick in their opener.
Crouch!
New Zealand against Hong Kong. In fact, it was New Zealand against Wales that she got the hat-trick. Portia Woodman scoring 8 tries against Hong Kong. America through Gray again, runs into Goss. These two have met
Stay.
on the sevens field, but now they're representing their country in the 15-a-side game. Ember,
Hold,
not too
hold,
much
hold,
time, and it stays
hold,
in
hold,
field. Wycliffe will get it to Winiata.
Play on now.
Out to Woodman. Woodman gets rid of the first defender. Tapper makes the tackle, and now they look to try and turn it over. New Zealand in possession. Brazier. The bump and run, the kick and chase. Waka will get there. And Waka takes it into touch. Nicely weighted kick there from Kelly Brazier.
Yeah, it was great. There was only one chaser though, that was Waka. All the numbers were on the right-hand side for New
White
Zealand. But it's just good heads-up play, so instinctive. She sees nobody's behind. Ember had a lot of distance to try and cover. Did well though. New Zealand has stolen 2 line-out throws from the United States.
They go to Washington, who taps it back. Oswan has to go down and clear the ball, and New Zealand look to try and steal it, but they can't. Back. And the clearance from Cheddar Ember, but they're still inside their own 22.
It's the right option
Time
to be
off.
using Ember for the kick.
Time
She's
off.
got more metres
White 3.
than Rosier.
White 3. Sir, please. Who is captain now?
There is the New Zealand coach, Glenn Moore,
Okay, thanks.
who
Yeah, thank you.
has done a wonderful job with this team
Time
since
is off.
taking the helm. And
Time
a
is off.
change
We
for
wait.
the Americans.
Rose.
Their captain, Tiffany Fahey, as replaced by Hope Rogers, who scored one of the
Clear
great
inside.
tries
Time back
of the
on.
tournaments.
Clear inside.
Easily taken by Smith. Out to Goss. Zachary makes the tackle. Tapper is there, but they quickly arrive to New Zealand. That ball finds a bit of land, and now Waka shows good strength.
Stay.
And the Americans, I think it's Rosier, who's just held up there. The nice little offload from
Release
Natua
White.
to Savage.
She's fair.
Rogers has come through and stolen it. So impact from the bench from Hope Rogers. Now back to Ember, who clears it. Nice play. And Hope Rogers, what a way to make an impact.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. The referee said release she didn't, and somehow on the ground managed to get the ball. But here is the passing skills of those forwards. So here she is. There's the release there. Oh, all in one motion. Okay, I'll give it to her.
Is that I was wrong?
Well, when I see the replay, yes, I was wrong.
New Zealand with the line-out throw. Charmaine Smith from the North Harbour region brings it down, and it's a maul. You can hear the call from the referee. The captain for New Zealand has it. They transfer it to the back, and it's picked up by Goss. Goss runs into Kelter and Zachary. It's recycled. Wycliffe, Brazier, the kick pass, the better option. Winiata! Winiata gets it, pops it up to Woodman. Woodman's in again. Sublime rugby from the woman in black. And Portia Woodman gets a brace.
But what about Kelly Brazier? Her ability to look up, see that the pass was not on. She had two players outside her in Winiata and Woodman. Let's have a look though at Goss. She just ran off the back of that rolling maul. The ball came down perfect for her. Good support there from Sabretsky Nafatali blowing over too, and then there, perfectly weighted. Lovely. Winiata just with that little pop, she knew she wasn't near the try line and that Woodman was on her shoulder and gave it. And good body position just to slide over and not get pushed over by that defence.
Thanks, David.
Portia Woodman's 11th try of the tournament, second of this match. And that is just what the New Zealand coach Glenn Moore would have wanted them to score straight away, giving them a psychological advantage and also extending that lead out to 13.
And just that ability to score tries when nothing looks on. You know, New Zealand is one of the most, I would argue, the most dangerous team at this tournament for that reason.
.46 points. Will stay at 46 for Kendra Coxedge. But what can you say about one of the greatest athletes on the planet, Portia Woodman?
Yeah. She made her name in sevens rugby, but she has certainly made her name in 15s by now, because she's the most potent attacking weapon here. In this game, 11 carries, she's made 89 metres, which is the most out of anybody, and of course to beat in 7 defenders, not bad at all.
Of the 7 defenders, I'd suggest 4 of them was when she scored that try. Not that one, the first one. Now the restart, they go into the contact, it's knocked back by Black, and they give it to Woodman again. Portia Woodman gets rid of one, can't get rid of Tapper. Picks and goes again. And now here comes Tunu. Nice little pop pass, the two props working nicely there at Tunu to Natua.
Leave it now.
Tunu still on the ground. Slow ball here for the New Zealanders. Parsons makes a nuisance of herself. They race up out of the line, does Rozier on Goss. She gets it back to McMenamin. And now the captain, Falmasili. Washington in with the tackle. Brazier. The kick in between Ember and Tapper. Ember will get time to field it and to kick it downfield. Coxedge is there. Only the small numbers alongside her, so she throws it out to where Savage has it. Savage into Rogers.
Release, White!
To the left they come, Falmasili, who really has put her hand up as the captain. Again says, follow me. Out to the right, Brazier has it. Now quick hands, it's good. Along the chain from Waka to Winiata to Wycliffe. Inside the 22, New Zealand go. Ball is there. Kelter's stolen it. So a turnover. Nice one, says let's just get the ball out of play rather.
Yeah, that's a risk when you go wide, you run out of numbers, don't you? But have a look here from the kickoff. 1-2. Obviously,
Black ball.
Tapper just a little too difficult to brush off.
Time off.
And Savage too. She really is being savage today, isn't she? Been involved with a lot of carries, pushing off a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
And this is where they
Yes,
run
I
out
call
of
time off. Yes,
support
yes.
playing
No
New
problem.
Zealand, just on the edges after a few phases. It's just the backs trying to control that ruck.
Yeah. Good contest.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Part of the team in Rio in 2016 is that lady there, Alive Kelter, mentioned earlier that she was a dual athlete, having represented America in hockey and also in football and soccer, as it's known in that country. Captained the USA team in the World Hockey Championships, the under-18s, and won gold, and then made a decision to get into rugby, and what an asset she has been for Team USA.
And what I like about her is she's only really played sevens, so she's a brand new 15-a-side player, but she's shown what a great athlete she is. She's playing a really difficult position in second 5'8", and there's that little kick through again to show this try from Woodman, who's second in the semi-final. Great work
She's fine?
from Miniata too.
Yeah. We are okay to play. Time back
Chetta
home.
Ember, the
We play
24-year-old
now?
fullback for the Americans, is
We
the
play?
new captain
Yep.
since Tiffany Barney is off the field, and that's where all the
Black
action
ball?
has been played. It's almost like a mortgage inside the American half.
Certainly is. If a team has got 88% possession in the opposite half, it's going to make it difficult.
Lovely jump from Smith.
More.
Palmer Silly gets it. Change of tactic here from New Zealand, looking to try and outmuscle the Americans now.
Once.
The bicep competition continues. Coxedge gets it to Wycliffe, runs across the field. Zabriskie Napatali is there, but Coxedge has it now. Brazier at first receiver to Waka. Waka can't get away from Heaverland. She's a little
Release,
isolated.
Waka.
Is Stacey Waka.
Stay.
Possession again there for McMenamin. 6 and 8 of the big ball runners for New Zealand. It's cleared. Brazier at first receiver. Top pass. Rozier makes another tackle. And America will be penalised.
13.
Not controlling their own body
13.
weights.
Stay up, please.
And I'd imagine
You're
here
off
that
it.
New Zealand will just look for the comfort of the 3 points and the penalty.
I'd suggest so, and if they do that, because it gives them more breathing space and then they can express themselves a little more.
Okay.
The second half, we've
Yeah,
certainly
pause.
seen them throw the ball around a lot
Captain?
more. They kicked it a bit in the
Yeah, say
first
to
quarter
5
of the
black.
match. And they cleaned up most of that.
action against an
I like it how players
5 black.
like Savage
Any
are
action.
right on
After I
their
blow
game
the
line when they're
whistle.
hitting it.
Okay.
There it is. You can just see the American
Yep.
player off her feet and still playing the ball.
Yeah, here, please. It's clear?
Christine
Nothing. Okay?
Heaverland. And
Thanks, son.
there she is, Sevens. Such a great distributor and a real strength in the midfield of the Americans.
We've seen her on the 7 circuit, Nicole Heaverland. I call her a really steady player, huge work rate, good fitness.
Kendra Coxedge looks to move her tally for the Rugby World Cup to 49, and more importantly the country's to 23. Delight from the New Zealand fans who have made the long trip to Europe. New Zealand have won the World Cup in 98, 2002, 2006 and 2010. America in 1991. And it's Smith who's been strong in the tournament, as the policewoman from Auckland. Coxedge to Goss, puts the head down, finds the shoulder of Washington. To the right they go, Zabriskie Napatali down to the new American captain, who just lets it go through. And here comes Tapper. Hasn't had too many opportunities, Naya Tapper.
Tackle! Leave it!
Straight in on the ball was Goss, I think it was Wycliffe rather. But they hadn't rolled away, and now America will get a good chance to actually get outside their own half.
Tackle complete.
Yeah, initially it was a
Clear
great chase by New Zealand. They had 3 or 4 black jerseys there ready to jump on Tapper. But it's so difficult when to know when to release that ball, if you're holding them up in a maul or if it is tackled. now finally in the New Zealand half, the USA.
Time off, time off,
Coach
time
there.
off.
They knew it was going to be a really tough challenge today. They had a great training run yesterday, I heard. Really smooth, few errors. They had a bit of a session of how to deal with the haka too from their New Zealand coach, Richie Walker, who's with them, and it looks like it's worked. I mean, they've played pretty well.
On comes Nicole James in jersey 18. Washington to the back of the line out, not straight. So an error there from the Americans gives possession back to New Zealand.
Not straight.
America have never lost a semi-final in the Rugby World Cup. A bit of history might be written there. They won the tournament in 91, they were runners-up in 94 and 98. And it's their first World Cup semi-final in close to 20 years.
Yeah, 98 they beat England in the semi-final and played the Black Ferns in the final. They really were a force, the United States, and it seems to me that they are regaining their status in world rugby. Awesome.
Wycliffe comes looking for some work off the wing. Gets the shoulder of Devon. It's running, and now a kick again from Brazier. Winiata is there, so is Woodman. And Chidoremba wins the race.
It's out before? Okay.
The ball was out
the ball was out.
It was touched by the American captain.
Yeah, thank you, Rose. Ball was out before, white ball.
This time, the throw is better to Washington. Some ball off the top and some running ball as well. Gray out in the midfield. They try and hold her up to three of the New Zealanders. Does well to fight to get to the ground. Now they come back the blind side. Washington has it, gives it straight out to James. James out to tap up from a standing start. The ball is lost and Natua has it.
Release white!
Now, Kalmasili. This is Britsky, Napatali, that's charged off great. So it's play on. Waka can't handle it, but Bridges can. So Bridges goes through the middle. Then the pass. Here's Kelter. Kelter's got pace. Winiata's quick. Kelter for the corner. Kelter's over. What a try. You've got to take your opportunities at test matches. And Alif Kelter brings America back.
She's one of their best athletes, isn't she, Alef Kelter? We haven't seen her running with the ball too often so far, but that's what she can do. And have a look here. Waka was defending and gave up. It was a lovely offload, and Kelter, she had open spaces. Winiata was coming across, so was Woodman, but neither of them really knew who was going to take Kelter, and Kelter ended up fending off Winiata, the smaller of the two, because Woodman didn't want to cut down the line, I think, of Winiata.
Yeah, thank you.
What an individual effort, and it could be a crucial one in this semi-final.
Yeah, thank you.
Converted the try from Thomas in the first half. 1 from 1. This around 39 metres with the angle. And this would close the gap to 9. Just pushes it wide.
3 and 6.
What a contest and what a try.
Time off, time off.
Yes, the story continues, doesn't it? The USA are still in with a shot big time. Well, thanks to this young lady, her fitness, her speed, her determination, and of course her strength.
Yep. Yes, it's complete now. Yeah, time back on.
There is Leslie Ketu. And a couple of changes for New Zealand. Nisha Nelson's on in jersey 18 as well. So changes in the front row and also the loose forward department. But now America have the ball. This is a maul. They're going to have to fight to try and get it to ground as quickly as they can. Now it's the ground. It should be a turnover. Zachary has it. Ball does come out.
Oh,
Tremendous play from the Americans, and now Rosea gets it out to where James and Rogers are standing in the midfield. Slow ball, Ember
Take him back.
in the boot, and that's carried back, so to
Take
kick
him
it out
back.
on the full means that
Yep.
they'll come all the way back to where she made contact and
thanks.
kicked it out.
Black ball.
Well, watch what happens here. This is not what you want to give New Zealand an opportunity right on the
Clear
22,
inside.
defending here the USA.
No, hold.
Up they go. One at the front of the line out by Blackwell. Cox edge to Brazier, standing at first receiver, now using Sabritsky Nafatali to set the targets. Tackles are made. New Zealanders clear the ball, but it's slow, and so the defence now comes up. Gray looks to tackle Nelson. The nurse from Auckland, the 27-year-old. Here goes the captain, Farmasili, with the help of Itunu. That's Linda Itunu in jersey 21. Now they rumble again. Down Main Street, they're going down Broadway, are the New Zealanders. Cox edge with the wide pass to Brazier. Woodman gets a hat-trick. You bet. You can't hold off Portia Woodman or she will burn you. And she gets 3 for the semi-final.
It's wonderful to have a player like this on the outside, but how about the work done by the forwards at the beginning? The ball initially at the rucks was quite slow, and then Fa'amasili came through with some good ball. Look at this, a great pass by Coxage, but even better from Brazier. Brazier's the one who's been giving the service all day to Woodman. Honestly, who has the skills to pass a ball like that? She knew she was going to get absolutely hammered by Rosier.
Thank you.
But yes, Woodman beat about
perfect.
2 players to get through.
Plenty of time. Yeah.
Portia Woodman, 142 tries. As we look at England, they are the next side up to take on the flamboyant French in their semi-final. The battle for Europe and the battle for the right to be in the final. New Zealand 58% possession, America 42, but they've got themselves in trouble, America, playing the game at the wrong end of the field, and that kick out led to the line out, and from the line out New Zealand showed composure, strong temperament, and rewarded with a 5-pointer that could become 7. Cox edge, can't bring it around enough. We've run out of superlatives to talk about Portia Woodman.
Well, I think that if there was a general Rugby World Player of the Year, not worrying about gender, she could be in for the running and probably take it, because she's one of the best athletes in this game. No matter you're male or female. It was Trevor Mallard and Beth Mallard there cheering away, former MP.
Taken in by Smith. Her and Eloise Blackwell have been in tremendous form. They've really hit the ball. Here's Itunu. This is Linda Itunu, the older of the 2 sisters. Her 3rd World Cup. Now out to Nafatali. Looks up and tries to kick it over. Thomas is here. Thomas gets it and gets a defender at the same time. There's Thomas. So looks like New Zealand have made a number of changes, and we'll get to them in just a moment. This is one of the quality players from America, and Nicole James. Nothing really on, and so just the kick over to where easily fielded and into Winiata. Woodman out to Brazier. That's not a good pass, but Brazier will get it and get Tapper at the same time. Americans look for the counter ruck. They walk over the top. Ball is there. Woodman gets it. Now it's into the hands of the halfback for New Zealand. Natua just pops it up. And again, these offloads are working. Smith gets it to Fa'amasili. And now it's a little wider. Here goes Hohefer, the top try scorer in 2010 Rugby World Cup. Smith wants it. Smith gets it. And Itunu can't hold on. Washington gets it back to the halfback, who gets monstered by Natua. Here goes
Still
Rogers.
advantage, no
Hope
one
Rogers
advantage.
to Bridges. Parsons is there. Double blast.
Time off. Time off, please.
We'll listen
We are
in.
playing advantage for a knock-on black. Time off, please. Give a space. And space, please. Space. Thank you. No. It's fine. Yeah.
I want you to check
Yeah.
something. Okay, so 21 black went
Yeah.
in to make a tackle,
Yeah.
and it looks like she made high contact with
Yeah.
her opponent. 21 black.
You want to check?
Yes.
Okay. David, check. Time off.
Yes, Ali.
Yeah. We want to check if 21 black.
Made high contact on her opponent.
Yes, it was high when she tried to do a tackle.
Ali, we're checking foul
Yeah.
play, 21
Yeah,
black.
in the last contact, in the
Sure.
last tackle situation.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you.
David.
Always reasonably tough, those ones, because you can see the attacking players already quite low, getting low there. But yeah, she did. It's absolutely high tackle. And the arm
Yes.
coming around as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if a yellow card doesn't
One
come in
more
here.
angle, Ali.
Yep.
She's dipping at the same time, isn't she? That's
She didn't look
Hope
up.
Rogers.
Yeah. Itunu
That's
needed
all
to
the
look
angles
up
we
and
have,
target
Ali.
where
Yeah.
she was tackling, but so it was a little
So-
reckless.
21 black.
Ali, we have the original angle.
Yep. So it's
Ali, I'm just going to show it to you one more time, but in normal speed, real speed.
So let's
okay. Thank you, David.
let's see it in real time, because this is what it looked like. That was real time.
Well, she was going in for a big hit, wasn't she? Yeah. Rogers was coming down, but it was
That's all the angles, Ali.
probably
So
the arm coming around
21
too.
is going for the tackle, and white is going to the ground. And in that action, 21 black made contact with the head of the white player. Is that right?
That's right, Ali. Agreed.
So, on my view, is yellow card because the white player was going to the ground, but it's still a dangerous situation for the white player.
Agreed, Ali.
So it's yellow card, 21 black.
Correct.
Making
Good consultation
contact with the head.
between
Yeah,
Hawkeye
happy?
and the referee,
Thank you,
and yes,
David.
this will be a yellow card, her fourth Rugby World
21
Cup,
and captain,
2006, 10, 14, and in
21,
17
captain.
it is 32-year-old Linda
21,
Itunu,
please.
who's going to be spending a little
Yeah.
bit of time in the Naughty Girls chair.
She goes for the tackle and she goes to the ground, but unfortunately she make contact with the head. Yes, so it's a dangerous situation. It's yellow card.
The detective might try and argue her case, but it's the right decision. She's a tremendous competitor, as Linda Itunu. She's not a dirty player either. She loves the physical contact, and it was just the fact that Hope Rogers was going down in the tackle.
I think it's an issue for the New Zealand team because they've had a number of yellow cards now for exactly this.
Well, that is their fourth yellow at the Rugby World Cup, and it takes me back to the memories of 2010 where they had two in the final against England and still managed to win. So discipline paramount at this stage of the tournament.
So here it is, and you know, it's all to do with the explosiveness of some of these sports, particularly Itunu's come off the bench, she's fresh, so she's gone in for a big hit, but it's smashed into the head of Roger. So no go in rugby.
Stacey Bridges has been replaced by Abby
One black.
Gustitis, a 26-year-old in Jersey, 19th University of Maryland.
One black. Yes. Time back on now.
New Zealand went with a 6-2 split, 6 forwards and only 2 backs. They're starting to make some changes now as America through Washington brings it down. Rozier, some decoy runners out to Kelta to Heveland, another decoy runner, and Tapper into the tackle of Waka. Woodman is there.
Stay.
Nice play from the Americans. Rozier. Now Thomas wants to get her hands on the ball and go into the contact. Good to see the two wingers from America wanting ball in hand, wanting to challenge this New Zealand line.
Ball is there.
Waswani out Kelter again gets the pass from Zachary. Zachary needs to get there to get rid of Goss. Does so just in time. Ball comes back the side of New Zealand. And Cox Edge says no fullback at home, we'll kick and chase. Ember gets back there first, the new captain for the American. Oh, wonderful fend! Sit down, Cox Edge, she says. And here goes Tapa. Into Kelter. What a fend from Ember. There'll be a handprint there in the morning still as America get it through Hebel and to Gray. Along to Parsons. Now Thomas. Kristen Thomas, who scored a try early in the match, she's got isolated. This might be a penalty. Yes, it is. And take a bow, Salika Wiriata.
Well, it's about time the USA got some beautiful ball out wide. That was wonderful to watch. All started, of course, by Ember, who face-fended the smallest player on the pitch. Here she is, ouch, in the throat. And gee, that slightly went forward, but hey, in the end it was Winiata who saved the day for New Zealand.
Time off. 5 black, 5 sub, number 5 sub.
Just wonderful, that power, that strength. And I think Cox Edge had a bit of a smile. And there it is, just popped out the back there. That's when
in the line out
Cox Edge kicked it away.
That is one of the best fends you'll ever see in a game of rugby at any level.
How come you can't tackle around the neck and you can fend somebody in the throat?
Becky Woods is on the field and Nafitali. Not too many options, and so the first 5 for New Zealand just gets some good valuable metres. Quickly they arrive and they'll get the penalty, not rolling away. The Americans 13 to play in this game.
Not rolling away.
Yeah. All New Zealand are going to do right now is keep it in the forwards or keep it close. Pick and goes. Bring that clock down until 7 more minutes when Etunu can get back on.
And a little bit of football skills there. Firstly, keeping it in play, and then the kick forward. Cox Edge gets the attention of Abby Gustatis. Remember, New Zealand down to 14 players. Etunu is in the sin bin. And they want to keep it in the forwards here. Ball comes back. There goes Talawandua.
Release, wait! Stay.
The kick from the New Zealand half. The bounce is good, and coming through is Hohepa. Hohepa gets the puck. Bounce. And she gets Thomas at the same time. Palmasili picks and goes into Parsons. Goss is there. Here goes Wood.
Stay back.
They slow things down, and again it's Blackwell asked to carry it.
Stay back.
Now the forwards arrive and work in tandem. Fresh legs. There's Nelson and Wood. Stolen. I think that's Rogers. She's a thief. And legal. Back in the pocket is Rozier. Not too many options, but just the kick into touch. Quality play from both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I think New Zealand didn't quite have the numbers there because their captain was out injured at the back, but the chase by Hohepa got a lovely bounce. And what about that tackle from Thomas? Here it is. Brilliant, desperate, good technique. And this is a turnover here where New Zealand only had one jersey over it, and Rogers stole it brilliantly.
Here she is. Started playing rugby as a sophomore at Chambersburg High School in Pennsylvania. And there is Sam Pankey, the 34-year-old, on in jersey 16. Pankey's on. And Canet in at halfback. The ball falls into the hands of Nelson. Soft hands from the nurse. They've turned it over. They have New Zealand. And there is Pankey, first touch of the ball, and she gets Leslie Ketu at the same time. Here goes Rogers. America with the power game through James. Nicole James, good meters. Canet back to Rozier. She finds touch just in front of Hohepa.
I think that the US have done a great job in slowing the Black Ferns ruck ball down a lot and stealing it in that area as well. They've won 13 turnovers, New Zealand just 9. Fatmaseli is off with reserve Takuda Ngata Airi Namata on. It's because I think that the captain got a little bit of a knock to the face.
Ngata Airi Namata finds the target. Sabritsky Nafatali to Hohepa, double miss out to Woodman. Woodman's got 3. Woodman's going to get 4. Top try scorer in the Rugby World Cup of 2017 gets another. Power, pace, and she is first class.
Well, nobody does this. She had 2 extremely fast, explosive players ready to mark her. Lovely passing once again. Hohepa involved here. See Tapa on her inside, and then Ember's right there. But Ember needed to cut her space down and come forward. She got flat-footed, and you cannot do this against this absolute speed merchant. Great work, Hohepa, the other winger too. Just a distribution down the line from this Black Ferns team has allowed Woodman to show what she's made out of out wide.
We've mentioned in our commentaries that New Zealand worst ever World Cup result was in 2014, where they didn't even make it through to the semis, and it's been a long 3 years for a number of these players that were involved in that loss to Ireland in pool play. The summer trainings, the commitments, and let's not forget, all of our players here are amateur. They've got jobs, they've got families that they need to go back to as Kendra Coxedge moves in. Can't add the extras. And that balance, Melody Robinson, of home, life, vocation, and the love of their sport, rugby.
Well, Portia Woodman's one of the full-time athletes actually with the Sevens program, and she's certainly benefited from that. Be great to see these girls on full-time contracts ahead of a Rugby World Cup like England, but hey, look at what they can do. They're absolute stars, certainly in this semi-final.
New Zealand down to 14. How many times we see a team down to 14 score tries, and that's what they've done. Talawan Dua in her 7th cap takes the kick off, and then it's Alicia Nelson a little wide up. They go the same way, and Sabritsky Nafatali kick, and another mistake, and they stood and watched, and now Waka's going to help herself to a try. What about the football skills from Stacey Waka? Well, the Americans made the error. They stood around having a debate and a cup of tea.
So,
and Stacey Waka said, I'll help myself to 5 points.
Try or not try? Please?
Question is, try yes or no?
Yeah.
Well, this is a lesson for all those kids back home watching, that if you make a mistake, you've got to clean it up straight away, or this will happen. What we're looking at here is if her body pressed it to the ground. Oh, need a different angle.
I think she's missed it. In golf, this is called a golf, that's a whiskey.
The bounce of the ball just went to the left, didn't it? And it missed the body. All she needed was her chest, her stomach, any area of that, just to press it down.
That's all the angles. The ball's clearly lost, not grounded.
Yeah.
No try.
So
you were playing advantage?
The advantage was over.
Okay.
So
it's going to be a white scrum.
So 22.
So it's not gone. You are meaning that
restart, 5 metre scrum, white ball.
So a 5 metre scrum because it was lost forward by the New Zealander Stacey Walker and the Americans. That's a great lesson in what not to do here.
Yeah, here they are. Look.
The advantage was over, clearly.
What are you doing?
It's a knock-on advantage, was over.
And then Stacey Walker comes through.
Time off, time
Oh
off.
no, they'll learn from that.
Time is off. 10 and
Stacey
11
Walker,
sub,
the
please.
21-year-old
Number 10 and 11 sub.
student.
11 sub. Yeah, thank you. 13 black sub. 13.
Scored the first try for the Americans.
Substitution.
Christine Thomas has now replaced Zachary.
13 black.
Comes back into the mix on the open side flank.
Okay.
And a sub for the New Zealanders with Waka. Her day is done. On comes Teresa Fitzpatrick in jersey 22.
Time back on. Crouch. Still got that kicker. Still got that kicker. Bye. Set. Set.
Gray gets it, now feeds it to Canet. A little bit of pressure put on, and Winiata has Woodman out to the left, but steps. Takes it into the contact. New Zealand still down to 14 players, but now the pick and go through the forwards. Coxedge gets it out to Nafatali, the kick pass. They'll score here, New Zealand, if they catch it. Control it, and over goes. Te kura ngata aringa mate. Look at the delight from the New Zealand camp. Her name on Scrabble would give you 100 points. There she is, gold for New Zealand. And what a kick, and what a catch.
And what was she doing out there? The hooker. It's like a Sean Fitzpatrick on the wing. Brilliant.
Thank you.
She was so surprised when she caught it. It was like, oh my goodness, I'm close to the try line. I'm there. She's got a lovely step on her. Nata Airene Mate. And it's so cool to see her come up with a try because she's always on the bench warming it for her captain.
Such a beautiful name. Te kura ngata aringa mate, the teacher. Dots down, and there is the absolute delight from the team. As you mentioned, Mel, she doesn't get too much game time when the skipper of the side is in her 5th World Cup, but she has made every post a winner and every opportunity she has been given. And New Zealand will return to 15 players at the completion of this kick.
Yep.
25-year-old.
Okay, thank you.
Out of the Counties Manukau region. She's one of the great team members as well, Mel. She's just one of those characters in the side that, well, she's infectious because she's just happy all the time.
Yeah, and that is so important, that team culture, the happiness off the field to making you successful on the field, and that is one of the other reasons she's there.
New Zealand returned to 15 players. Linda Etunu is back on the field, and Kalta gets the ball. Here's the try scorer. Ngata Aringa Mate, nice quick hands between forwards and backs, and now it's out to Hohepa. Emba comes across. Hohepa throws the ball to Kalta. Nice line run by the American second 5 to shut it down. Canet gets it, gives it back to Rogers. She hasn't stopped trying since she's come on, as Hope Rogers. Canet to Rozier, throws the pass. It's gone forward, advantage here for New Zealand. And now out to Brazier. Woodman is outside Brazier, but Brazier's got lovely footwork. Kelly Brazier does the impossible. New Zealand at 40. The footwork from Kelly Brazier was Ginger Rogers like.
Well, Brazier has waited until the 76th minute to show us what she's got, because she's just as potent at attacking as any other member of her team. Great hands here. Initial break from Hohepa, who rang outside Ember. Didn't quite get the ball to her support players there, but New Zealand got the ball back. Once again, hands came into it. That left-footed step twice wrong-footed the defence, and then she straightened up and used her pace to go through. Brazier has been brilliant today.
(45-12), and how appropriate that the score reads 45-12, and the Aon player of the match, without a doubt, is Kelly Brazier. What a performance from the 27-year-old in her third Rugby World Cup.
And you can count majority of those tries from New Zealand that come back to this young lady and her skills, and the way that she passes the ball, the speed, the transition, and of course her comms, decision-making, brilliant.
Very similar to the scoreline in '98 when New Zealand won 44-12 in Amsterdam.
Backwards.
Tap back, here is Ngata Aringa Mate, runs into Rogers. That's the 10-yard line inside the New Zealand half. Back to Zabritsky Nafatali. It's off an American hand, which means it's play on, no offside. And now Tapper with some space. Brought to the ground with a tackle from Itunu. Kennett gets it out now to Destitis, gets it along to James, Nicole James. Gray hasn't stopped trying the whole 79 minutes of this game. New Zealand look interested in the turnover. Wood wants to steal it, and Wood will steal it. So the firefighter steals the ball. Gray may have been offside. Yes, she was.
8.
And now New Zealand will look
Offside.
for 50.
Offside.
Well, they've got less than a minute to do it. Looks like they're going for the line out, and then we'll see their last try-scoring move of the day.
Can Woodman score 5 tries? Can New Zealand hit 50? This is the turnover from Wood, and it was a good steal.
Yeah, really good. One of the newer stars for New Zealand. And have a look there, she wasn't even behind last man foot, and it was an open play, so she didn't have the rights to go for that.
Backwards by white player.
And America might have the last say of this test match of the World Cup of 2017. Connect to Hevelin, who stands at first receiver. A couple of double passes out to Ember. The offload from Ember's a good one. Connect gets it out. That's a nice ball around the corner, but Wuniata has it. Puts it into touch. And the referee says that is time. And the Black Ferns take a step closer to gold. Portia Woodman with 4 tries. Kelly Brazier, the Aon player of the match. And this New Zealand side have made their way into their 5th World Cup final in a classy performance, having beaten America by 45 points to 12. And the #1 ranked team in the world, New Zealand, are into another final. Mel Robinson, you know how that feels. You won on 2 occasions, and they certainly came with their A game today.
Well, the nerves will not stop. They might enjoy tonight, but they are going to be on the edge when it comes to the final, and revenge or retribution, whatever you want to call it. They are looking to take down this World Cup in 2017. It will be so fascinating to see who it will be up against them. Will it be France? Will it be England? England, a team they have a lot of history against. There'll be a lot of emotions if it is that side. So exciting.
And that scoreline not really reflective of just how competitive America were today. They really turned up to play, and they gave New Zealand no space in that first 50 minutes.
That's right, and it wasn't until the last 20 when New Zealand started to really push the passes, use the interplay with the forwards. They made less errors in the last quarter of that match. They kicked it less, whereas the United States, they were so physical, so competitive, and we saw how exciting they are when they get the ball to some of their incredible players out wide as well. You know, they've come a long way, they've played very well, and they've still got 3rd and 4th to play off for.
It's called a test match, and that's exactly what it was. The right to be crowned the best team on the planet. And it was tremendous to see. And so let's get some reaction. Jenny Drummond is downstairs with, I'm sure, a very happy New Zealand captain, Theo Faumasili.
Theo, well, you're back to world number 1 and you're back in the Rugby World Cup final. What has it taken your team to get back to this point?
It's taken a lot of hard work by the girls. I mean, we're so excited we're in the finals, and full credit to our supporters, full credit to the USA team that kept battling right through to the 80th minute. So a lot of respect for that team, they really gave it to us. So just really excited as a team to be in that final.
Well, the USA certainly didn't make it easy for you, but how happy are you with the manner of that win?
Oh, very happy. The girls had to dig deep, and we've been training really hard throughout the week. Our preparation has been on point, and I couldn't be any prouder of how the girls dug today. We went down to 14 players, and then we had to step it up another notch, so very, very happy.
A quick word on Portia Woodman. I mean, she likes scoring tries, doesn't she?
Oh, she loves scoring tries, and she's the best one to do it out wide. But, you know, full credit to our forwards who really did the hard work up front to give our backs some good go-forward ball. Yeah.
Well, very well done today, and all the best in the final.
Cheers, thank you very much. And I'd like to thank all our supporters in the crowd. Thank you very much. And our supporters back home. We love you guys.
Cheers.